Hey, y'all. Oh my goodness gracious. Now, here's the deal. Whether you're a solopreneur, you have a team of 50, it doesn't really matter because it's super easy to get caught up in the day to day to do lists and forget about really what the big picture jobs are inside of our studio and inside of our businesses. And so, in this week's episode, I'm going to dive into the top 3 things that you need to focus on as the CEO of your business. So, today, my friends, if you're joining me, say, hey, Erin, what's up? Let me know that you're here. I want to know who is with me today when we dive into this whole idea of boss mode, right? Boss mode activated. Because here's the thing, so many times we get caught up in all of the day to day things that are happening that we forget that we are actually the CEO of our business. And we get caught up in doing things that are not going to really make a big dent and actually move us forward to where we want to be. So if you're joining me, say, hey, Erin, what's up? Let me know that you're here. I want to know. I want to know if you're here. And if you would like a copy of today's show notes, drop the word boss below and we will make sure to get that to you. Now, if you come in on the replay, I want to know that as well. Drop hashtag replay so I can come back in. Hey, hello there, my friends. Hello. Good morning. I want to know if you come back in on the replay as well. You could just drop a hashtag replay and comment along, and I will come back and finish the conversation. Yes, drop in the word boss so you can get the show notes from today. I love it. I love it. I love it. And if you somehow stumbled upon this broadcast today, I'm Erin Bird. I am your hostess with the mostest, and I support dance studio owners and educators to really grow their businesses without the burnout or the sacrificing of their personal life, because you can have your own unique vision of success. You can have passion, you can have profit, you can have work life harmony. Dare I say it? It is true. You can have all of it. And I'm here to support you in that, in your journey to reach those big goals. And so, my friends, if you know someone who needs to hear this today, sprinkle the love around. Let them know about it. I want to know. So, my friends, hello, hello, hello. So, are we ready to dive into this whole idea of boss mode? Now, I can tell you that we are all busy. We're all busy people. And we have to stay really intentional about being the CEO. And what do CEOs do? If you were to interview some CEOs of Fortune 500 companies, what would they tell you that they're focused on? And so that's what we're going to dive into today when we talk about this whole idea of activating your boss mode, right? So, CEOs, first and foremost, I'm just going to dive right in today, y'all. CEOs, they focus on the financials. Now, I'm not telling you to be Scrooge McDuck over here and like counting all your money, right? We were just watching a like Mickey's Christmas Story last night, so it's in my brain. But I'm not telling you to do that, but you need to be focused on financials. You need to have a grasp of your money. Where is it coming? Where is it going? What are we, you need to have set aside time for Financial Friday, Money Monday. You, depending on the size of your studio and the size of your business, it might be something that you need to have a finger on daily, depending on what is happening. So, know that CEOs, they focus on the financials. They make decisions based on data, and your financials are a huge tracking and data point for you to be able to make educated and informed decisions. So, if you are not setting aside time for focusing on your financials, that is the first thing that I encourage you to do. You absolutely need to set aside time in your calendar, block it off, make it an appointment, right? You have to do that. You have to set aside time to really look at that and know what it means. And if you don't understand all of your financials, y'all, there's people here to support you. I would love to support you. There's bookkeepers, there's CPAs, there are people out there who teach about financial literacy. So there's no shame in saying you don't understand your financials. There's no shame in that. And I want you guys to understand this, because It just means you don't know yet. You were never taught, right? And I can say without a doubt that for so many of us, we were never taught really about money. Let me know in the comments below, did your family like actually dive into money with you and talking about financials and bigger pictures and investing? And did your family do that when you were a kid growing up? Did you get that information in school, like in high school, or maybe you took a class in college? I want to know, like, did you get imparted that wisdom on you at a younger age? Because I can tell you that I wasn't, unfortunately. It's not something that we really talked a lot about. And when I launched a business, I didn't understand necessarily the difference. Okay, I do love that. I do love that you talked about money. That makes my heart so happy because so many times I hear that money is not talked about in that way. Or I want to tell you guys, the other day I was in the store and there was a mom and her daughter, and I'm just going to go into story time for y'all. But anyway, there was a mother and her daughter, and they were shopping. They were in kind of like the little like cosmetic section or whatever. And mom had, a bunch of different things in her basket that were cosmetics, makeup, whatever. And the little girl grabbed a flavored chapstick, like lip smackers or something like that. And she asked, Mom, can I get this? And mom's words were, no, we can't afford that. Now, my friends, you and I both know that lip smackers was what? $1.52? I don't know. It's not very expensive. That being said, I don't think that it wasn't that they couldn't afford it. The problem was that mom didn't want to buy it or didn't see the value in it. She had lots of products in her cart for herself, right? Which is fine. Please do not get me wrong. But what caught me and made me think about it was the verbiage that she told her daughter, no, we can't afford that. When I don't really think that was the case. And when we say those things, this is where our money stories start at a very, very young age. We can't afford that. Now, I don't know if that was the case really in this particular instance, truth be told, right? But it was the easiest thing for the mom to say at that moment. Oh, we can't afford that. But the words matter, right? And so it starts our money story that we have. Now, sometimes like I said, I don't think it was a money thing. I think it was a value thing. And it was oh, we're not buying that for you, right? Instead of mom saying, no, we're not going to get that today, she chose to say, we can't afford that. And it struck me. I really did stop for a minute in my tracks. Now, you also know me. It's hard for me to keep my mouth shut about that. But it goes back to talking about money and being open and honest. And so, like I can tell you, like I said, from personal experience, that we didn't talk a lot about money, or, there might have been a lot of times where we were told that we can't afford something. Um, and so those stories are things that we get ingrained in us. And so I love that your mom was adamant about teaching you how to be independent women. That makes my heart so happy. That is what I'm trying to do for my children as well. I'm teaching them financial literacy early on. I can go into our whole piggy bank system. They have had a piggy bank system, more than one piggy bank, since they were born. You want to know more about that? Drop the word piggy bank below and I'll share it with you. But know that focusing on our financials is absolutely top priority. It's paramount to your success and to the longevity of you staying in business. So many times studio owners do not have themselves set up for a thriving business model because they don't understand their financials. So I had to start with that one. And I'm sorry if I feel like I'm standing on a soapbox and preaching, but y'all, it's important. It is important. All right. So let me know below. What day of the week do you focus on your financials? I want to know. We look at them twice a week. I go Money Mondays and Financial Fridays, depending on what we're looking at. So let me know below. I want to know. All right. The second thing that I think is top priority in our business as the CEO is we need to coach our team consistently. And what do I mean by that? So I very much believe in our job as leaders is to make sure, okay, I love that you're committed to it. Where's my hand clappers? I'm getting them. Yes, we are going to start a new practice. Fridays will be your day to take a look at those. I love it. That makes my heart happy. So, coaching our team consistently. Now, I want to know right now, if you have staff and you have teachers, and even if you don't actually, how often are you doing staff meetings first and foremost? How often? Let me know in the chat below. How often do you do staff meetings? And part two to that is how often do you meet individually with your staff to check in, to coach them, to help them move forward to their big life goals? That is, I believe firmly, that is our job as CEO. Our job is to coach our team consistently. I don't know if things are slow, but no one's telling me how often they have staff meetings. Is it because we don't do them often enough? Right? And I get it. Okay, I'm reading this right now. So you're solo, but another studio where you taught it maybe once per year, and I once went more than 3 months without the owner talking to you at all. And how did that make you feel? Right? Okay, I love it. 30 minutes one time a week. Yes. Okay. How did that make you feel? Because if we have a team, not great, right? Not great. Our job, and people ask me all the time, how do you keep people to stay for so long? Or how do you get people who are so loyal to you and who, I have in all my years, I have never had a staff member leave and try to open up their own thing. Not that I wouldn't want them to, let's be clear about that. But I have never had anybody, we see it all the time where people say, oh my gosh, my teacher who was like my right-hand person and I trusted her, and she left and she's poached all my students. I've never had that happen, y'all. And why? Because I was dedicated, and I am dedicated to making sure that I am showing up as their coach, as their leader, and helping them visualize what are their big goals and help them create a plan to achieve them, even if that means leaving me. I believe in everyone. I want to rise up. I want everyone to rise up. I want you to get those big dreams, get those big goals. And I am your coach, and I am your mentor, and I am your partner in helping you achieve those goals. I know I've said it all the time, but I have employees who taught with me all through college. They went through law school. Now they're attorneys here in our community, and they are like birdies for life. And of course, they are now my legal team, right? Because I sat down with her and said, let's create a game plan. What makes sense for you? Does law school make sense for you? Because there's a point where she wasn't sure if that's what she wanted to do. So we had that conversation, but it's not, when we do these coaching check-ins, this is not 100% about you. It is about them and showing them that you are committed to them living to their full potential, achieving those big goals, and being on them with the journey. Yes, do we also talk about, hey, I love that you're doing this in class. Maybe we want to change this little thing, or I noticed this thing is happening. Yes, that's part of it. But even more so than that, we need to take the time to actually consistently check in with our team. because going 3 months without talking to a staff member is unacceptable in my eyes if you are a great CEO, because staff retention equals student retention, bar none, hands down. If you have great staff that love what they do, that feel supported, that know you're in their corner and you want big things for them, they will keep your students happy. And they are motivated and inspired to do so as well. So that's number 2. And yes, staff meetings, even if you're solo, you should put on your thing. I'm going to have a little staff meeting with myself, right? Maybe it's going to a coffee shop and taking time to work on the business instead of in the business. Because y'all, adding extra rhinestones to a costume wall, you might love it. You might feel like it's therapeutic, and that's great if it brings you joy, but it is not hitting on the big 3 that I'm going to talk about right now. Okay, so we just talked about it. First things is focusing on the financials. Second is coaching your team consistently. And the third thing, it goes back to what we're talking about here. Oh my gosh, I love it. You're making my heart sing. Big picture tasks, follow through with your vision. This is where, yes, like you said, you have 2 blocks a week dedicated to growing the studio. Yes, this is what I'm talking about right here. So we need to be focused on lead generation, retention, right? Not only student, but staff, right? Those are the things that we need, the big picture. So looking at the big marketing strategy, looking on the big picture of where do you see you growing and what's the steps to get there and how do we break them down into smaller bits and pieces, and what are we delegating, because it's not you acting as the CEO, right? And if it's cleaning the toilets and that does not bring you joy, right? That is not a big picture task. That is something that could be delegated. That's something that we could delegate it. You guys, rhinestoning can be delegated. And let's not reinvent the wheel just for the fact of reinventing the wheel, right? You don't need a new Mother Ginger costume just because you're tired of looking at the one that you've used for the last 2 years. It's fine. Let's work on big picture things that are actually going to move the needle forward. So as we're moving into 2023, right? What is it that what big picture things are you going to focus on? Drop them in the comments below. I want to know, because I am here to support you and keep you accountable for making sure you're staying on the right path. Now, do I fully understand that there are a million things to do inside your business? I do. I completely understand that. But I also know that you get to decide which tasks are big picture tasks, going towards your big vision, and things that are not as important. Now, I'll tell you, I do have a couple clients who have told me they love our time together. They love our private one-on-one calls because I cut through all the mess and I'm like, that is not getting you to your big goal. Why are you focusing on that this week? You should be focusing on lead generation because you want to enroll more students because you need to increase your revenue by X amount of dollars, right? It is setting aside a time to look at that. And I love that some of you have set aside time to do so. Okay. But the other big thing is that is listed, and I chunk this in. I'm going to chunk it in with number 3, is being committed to being a lifelong learner. And so this is where I think there's a fine line. So hear me out, my friends. There is also something about consuming so much information that you're stopping yourself from moving forward. So there's a difference between being committed to being a lifelong learner and consuming all of the education, all the material, all the learning because you feel like you don't know enough to do a thing, or you're doing that in lieu of taking action. So please understand me there, right? There is a difference. Yes. Oh, we're all been guilty. Sometimes you get sucked into learning and then you don't actually apply, right? And I was actually just listening to a new study that was talking about, how much we are overloaded with information because we do have information at our fingertips, right? And there was a term, my gosh, I wish I could pull it out. But anywho, there's a term about, especially since we've had social media and like you find yourself scrolling like for hours and hours, consuming information, even if it doesn't seem like it, your brain is trying to process all of that. And so it's hard for it to pull out what things to actually, yes, apply and which are important. So this is where we do have to be intentional and strategic about our learning and what forms and what information we're taking in, because we do need to apply those, right? It doesn't matter, you can learn something, but if you don't apply it, what's the point? You're in the same place as you were before you learned that information. So I am all about learning and taking action. Those two things are paramount in your success. Now I'm going to tell you guys, nobody has dropped to me what their focus is going to be. Should I just wait? Right? What's your focus for 2023? Is it enrollment? Is it retention? Is it stepping away from teaching so much? Like, what is your goal? And if you don't have a goal yet, we should talk, because you should know right now what it is that you would love to see happen in 2023. This isn't about, New Year's resolutions. I don't like that. But yes, enrollment and expanding messaging reach. Okay, I love it. So, my friends, enrollment, bigger building. Yes, right? Bigger building, enrollment. Okay, so I will tell you all. It's coming up. My goodness gracious, I can't believe it. So if you have not heard about our Empire Builders Club, here's the thing. This is going to be bananas for so many people. We've already have a great set of members who have enrolled in the Empire Builders Club. But what it is once a month, I'm going to do a master class for you guys on different topics. This month, this Friday, December 2nd, is going to be the enrollment blitz for 2023. What I'm going to share with you what you need to do to fill your classes for 2023, up your enrollment, right out the gate, so you can kick 2023 off with a bang. So the Empire Builders Club, though, you guys, it is, so you get your monthly masterclass plus a monthly Q&A session with us, quarterly planning session. There's lots involved. I'm not going to go through all the things with you guys, but it is literally only $44 a month, which is absolutely bananas. Now, that $44 a month is our founding price. I know you signed up yesterday. I'm so excited. Right? So excited. We had actually a couple of people sign up yesterday. So it makes my heart beat. I know, right? So good. So good. So enrollment blitz is happening December 3rd. So I'm going to drop here in the comments below. Let's see if I can do it. If you need more information about the Empire Builders Club, it is going to be hopefully popping up there for you right now. Yeah, I think it worked. I'm always astounded when I get it to work because it doesn't always work for me. But the Empire Builders Club, we are going to go into things. This first masterclass for December, it is all about the enrollment blitz in January. Then we will talk about things like retention, nonprofits, camps, cash cow camps, right? How do you actually roll out camps to make money? Getting rid of the summer slump. Like, we have so many amazing masterclasses on the books for you guys. Me and my team, we've laid them out for all of 2023. So good. And you guys, it is your space to take a couple hours a month to really dive into lifelong learning, being the CEO of your studio and really growing and taking away tangible things that are done in smaller bite-sized bits that you can actually apply and implement right away. This isn't about having to dedicate, hours every single day to this. No, this is about quick wins. I am about the quickest path to cash, first of all. If y'all don't know me, something I can tell you I feel wholeheartedly about is the quickest path to cash, right? So, and keeping people for the long run. Going back to that CEO vision, number one, right? Financials. But this is going to be really the support you need. When I go and do these summer conferences, I get lots of feedback from people. And this was one of the things, the feedback that I took was that, they would love something that is kind of like an entry level and that gets them like those workshops that we have at those summer conferences. They're like, these are amazing. We want more of that sprinkled throughout the year. So this is the answer. The Empire Builders Club is the answer to that. And my friends, that founders rate of only $44 a month, it will be going away before Christmas or when we get to 25 members, and we're halfway there. So know that whichever one comes first. And then that rate is going to be going up. So if you have been thinking about, I need a little bit of support, I want to see what that looks like, I love taking in and being a lifelong learner, then that's the place for you. And if you have questions about it, shoot me a message. We'll chat about it. But all right, let's do a little bit of a speedy recap today before we move on. Let me go ahead. I think I can take this off on the screen now for y'all. I'm gonna hide that. All right, so let's dive in. Boss mode activated. The top 3 things to do as the CEO of your studio. The first thing, my friends, is we have to focus on the financials. It is paramount to your success. And if you don't have a time set aside during your week, I implore you to do that right now. Open up your calendar. Maybe that's your goal for 2023 is to really focus and get a handle on your financials, understand them, know how to make them work for you. And if you find that things are not working for you where you want them to be, then we can come up with an action plan to fix that problem for you in your business. So that's number one. The second thing is coaching your team consistently. This is about stepping up as the leader, the boss in your business, and really investing your time in the growth of your staff. And this is not just professional growth, this is personal growth. This is helping them achieve their big goals, even if it means they leave you. Because at the end of the day, our job is to help lift others up and help them achieve their goals. And if you do this and you're consistent about it, you will have raving loyal fans for life, my friends. I can't tell you how many times I get these raving reviews back, and just people are, if they feel loved, appreciated, taken care of, they will do their best for you in the time that they are meant to stay with you. So that's number 2. And the third thing, my friends, is big picture tasks and following through with your vision. Being committed to being lifelong learners, that also take action and that focus on your one big thing every single day that actually moves the needle forward for you to get to that big dream and that big goal. It is about being intentional and setting aside time every single week to work on your business instead of just working in your business, because it is very easy for us to get stuck working in our business when we feel like all the things are being thrown at us. And I will tell you that part of this is delegating those things that are not part of the big picture tasks, the lead generation, revenue generating activities, things that are going to move the needle forward for you to get to your bigger building, for you to step back from teaching, right? We have to know what our big picture is, what our vision is for not only our business, but for ourselves. And we have to work the plan every single day to move the needle forward to get there. Yes. All right, my friends. I hope that you have. Let me know below. Did you have a big takeaway from today? Are you doing these top 3 things consistently? Let me know below. I would love to know. And I want you to know that I will be back next week, same time, same place, right? I will be back here next week for another episode of the Erin Bird Live Show, where we dive into business strategy, mindset, tips and tricks to make your life easier, to grow your business, and to also bring you joy. Because I stand firmly in leaning into joy and kindness. And oh, I'm so glad that you got the motivation today. That makes it all worthwhile, honestly, to me. So I'm going to leave you all there. I hope you have a freaking fantastic week. My heart is so full this week. There's so much good going on. And let me know. Are you excited to kick off? We're like officially kicking off the holiday season tomorrow. It's December 1st, but we get to go see Trans-Siberian Orchestra. So good with our girls. And for me, that is like, it's December 1st. We're kicking it off. And then we've got a parade that we're in and, all the good stuff. But I'm going to leave you there. Let me know what joy is happening in your life? What good is happening? And because I want to celebrate it. I think it's important. So I'm going to leave you all there. I hope you have a fantastic week, and I will see you guys next week. Bye, y'all. Bye, friends.